Here we go then, your rundown of the capacity 34 kart starting lineup. Macaulay Bishop and Ethan Jeff Hall go from row number 1. Gustav Usakovs and Timo Junglin go from row 2. Alexander Savinkov, his best career start, and Thomas Behrman on row 3. Leon Hasty and Ewan Charman are on row 4. Ollie Stevens, Josh Turnbull, Armand Hamilton, and Tommy Harfield, your top 12. Running down the order, it's Thomas Min Spearing, Harrison Crowther, Oliver Smith, Joshua Smith, Jack Hobson, and Josh Graham. Then it's Matthew Sayer and Lewis Goff, Archie Clark and Aidan Hassan, Thomas Ingram Hill, and Brandon Truman. Deacon Russell, Sky Parker, Luke Bates, William Murphy, Oliver Sander, Luca Mogni are up next, and 4 drivers with a lot to prove, Joe Rippin and Kenzo Craigie, and Tyler Harris. Harrison Whitacombe starts shotgun on the field. 2 drivers from MLC, 2 drivers from Argenti, and oh, what a surprise! Macaulay Bishop took them off at a fair old lick on the rolling lap, and that means they'll get 2 rolling laps just to get those tyres back up to temperature. And Anthony Jordan, it's like the deluge never happened. 1 race on, and it's bright sunshine and a bone-dry circuit.
Everyone on slick tyres, I can report that. No one going to the wets for this one as I walk through the dummy grid. And yeah, like you say,
incredible.
You couldn't write it, could you? I think that in itself, and I had Paul Klassen talking to me as well before interviewing the drivers there, and he was saying, I've been in this sport for nearly 20 years, and I've never seen someone nearly lap the entire field.
Nearly 20 years? He's been in this sport nearly 50 years.
Well, that's what he was saying.
Sorry, Paul, I've had to rumble you there.
But I think he was trying to pull a fast one on me. Yeah, but, you know, he was saying he'd never seen that before, so, you know, it's crazy to see. Here we go then, out of the final corner, green flag goes out, and it is a good start then from the field. And again, you're going to have to watch out for those slippery exit curves and those slippery white lines as everyone makes their way up the hill now into the first couple of corners. It is Bishop who leads the way and maintains that lead up into the first major braking zone at the top of the spoon curve, as they negotiate their way around up and over. One kart nearly just mounting the back of another as they go into the braking zone there. You can see it was the bright high-vis kart there just going through. I think it was the 52 potentially that I saw it. Lewis Goff, I think, who went high, wide and handsome. Bright
liveried kart. Could have been Luke Bate as well. Got a very, very bright liveried machine. So Ethan Jeff Hall is going for victory number 6 of his career in the Wera Tours British Kart Championship. And Macaulay Bishop is going for win number 10 in his career. Second, at the moment he's in a tie for second behind Kai Hunter with Chris Whitten. And if he moves, if he gets another win, that'll be win number 10 for him. Kai Hunter has 16 wins, but we'll see Kai later on. Now, at the end of lap number 1, Harrison Whitcombe's gained 3 places. Tyler Harris stays 32nd. So the drivers starting at the back there. Where's Kenzo Craigie? Kenzo Craigie still... Kenzo Craigie has gained 11 places in kart number 44. Fantastic start for Kenzo from the back of the grid. And again, bone dry track, lots of good action. Bishop leading from Ethan Jeff Hall, and already these two are over a second in front of Gustav Usakovs and Alexander Savinkov in 4th place at the moment. Here is the battle for, let's have a look, who is that? That's the Chaos Board. This is the battle for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th.
Yes, it is. So large battles happening all the way throughout the field, and a little bit of a moment there, and the S-plate, Leon Hasty off the track. And those tyres, crucially, will be very wet now as they've been on the grass.
Yes, so he's going to have to get those tyres back up to temperature. And the Thule Motorsport S-plate kart exits stage left. Quick little check, the history, Junior Rotax statistics. In terms of overall wins, Kai Hunter has the most wins in Junior Rotax with 8. Dan Holland Racing 13 wins in Junior Rotax. Coles Racing have 5 wins. Argenti, KR Sport, tied on 4 wins. 3 wins for Strawberry Racing, and the only other team to win a Junior Rotax final in the modern era, Hunter Motorsport, but that was with Gustav Usakovs, who currently runs in P3.
Warden Law, that was one at, wasn't it?
It's certain that was a
no
podium.
PFI.
He
got a podium.
He got Hunter Motorsport's first podium at PFI. There's Aidan Hassan going through your screen. Aidan up 6th place to 16th at the moment. He is still the leading privateer.
Oh, dear.
And there's the leading driver hugging a barrier. And that would be a Project 1 kart. Oh, and there's number 59. Well, Harrison Crowther was in the barriers. It was
Oliver Smith
as well. Crowther has also had a problem as well. And Crowther's bad luck returns. Joshua Smith for the Project. Oh, yes, Joshua Smith in the barriers. Broken rear axle. And Oliver Smith, he's got Argenti livery, but running as a privateer. There. He is also trying to in issues with his car. Harrison Crowther has also retired, sadly. The Coles Racing number 17. Joshua Smith has carried on. Not quite sure how much longer the stewards are going to allow him with a rear axle doing a great Banana Man impression.
I'm not sure how much he can take that.
Mark Baines, stand up. Your driver, privateer driver, Aidan Hassan, fastest lap of the race. 42.74 seconds. Did have a rumour once that if Aidan Hassan gets on a British Championship podium, Mark Baines would stop swearing.
Well, that's never going to happen.
I mean,
no, I mean, Mark Baines not swearing. I'm not saying that.
I mean, his vocabulary would go down to 2 words, which is E-right. No, 4 words, Sheffield Wednesday. And E-rights, there we are.
No, the chance of Aidan Hassan getting a podium,
it's strong.
It's strong. Chance of Mark Baines not swearing is not small, yes.
Here we go. Bishop, Ethan Jeff Hall, Usakovs, Savinkov, Younglin, Behrman, Charman, Stevens, Hamilton, Graham, Spearing, Turnbull, Harfield, Hassan and Truman, your top 15. Kenzo Craigie from 32nd to 16th for the driver on the Mercedes Formula 1 Young Driver Programme. Kart number 44 for the Argenti Motorsport team. Leon Hastie runs next. Jack Hobson is 18th. Lewis Goff and Thomas Ingram Hill. Joe Rippin has gained 10 places from the back of the grid. He's 21st out of Matthew Sayer. Harrison Whitcomb has also gained 11 places from 33rd. From 34th, he is up to P23.
So big changes all the way throughout this field. Like you say, only the 2 retirements for now. And like you're saying, some big movers there. Battle at the front. We've got a yellow.
We've got Josh Smith trying to go down the Dragon Straight with a bent rear axle.
I think we've got a Battenberg flag at the track. So there has been an incident on circuit. So
a driver just trying to get out of their kart. And we'll have a little look. You can't see where that is. You see the back of it. Yes. You can see. And you can see that Lee Manchester is with that driver at the moment. So the driver is moving. So, okay, rewind. Take a breath. 10 minutes to go. Macaulay Bishop, his advantage, it was only a small advantage, is gone. This is going to give Ethan Jeff Hall a great opportunity. Alexander Savinkov is up into P3. And Junglin is 4th. Usakovs is down to 5th. 6th is Behrman. 7th is Charman. Ollie Stevens is in 8th place. Graham 9th. Then it's Spearing, Hamilton, Turnbull, Harfield, Hassan, and it's Luca Mogni who has had the accident at the end of the main straight. The drivers all slowing down, single file. It's going to bring everybody. So the drivers that started at the back are going to be thinking there. You can see, well, fair play to Joshua Smith. He's a lap down.
Red flag.
Oh, red flag. Okay, we've gone red. You can see the marshals there. So Luca Mogni in obviously a bit of discomfort. And so we're not going to show the incident. He was being helped by Lee Manchester. I think that Luca decided, it's hurt a bit more than I thought, and I'm just going to have a little lay down. So with 8 minutes to go, 8 minutes, 12 seconds to go, we will go red. And the order, there's there's Harrison Crowther being led away, and he's got another one of the paramedics with Harrison Crowther. I think that Harrison just showing, got a bit of a wrist injury, but my mood is the most injured part of my body by my demeanour. And normally Harrison Crowther, again, interesting. Harrison is another one of these young drivers. There's a lot of work to get sponsorship now. Josh Smith is...
Well, he's there on the grid.
He's looked at his nose cone. They're going to bring that kart off the circuit because he has got a very badly bent rear axle. Now the drivers, the officials will go on there. I think Josh Smith will probably be told, look, Josh, we appreciate you trying to carry on, but it's game over. And that so the drivers will get out of the karts. They're not allowed to touch the karts. You can see Michelle walking up the grid there. just to check that she knows. Now, what Michelle is doing there, the lady in the black top and the black shorts, she is going up there to check about nose cone penalties. If a driver has got a nose cone penalty, that will be recorded. And so she's checking the nose cones to make sure that nobody has got a drop down. There is Dan Ashton. Dan Ashton is having words with Joshua Smith. Dan saying, look, you've got to go back to the pit lane. Your cart's not safe. Josh is like, but I can drive it. It's like the start of the film Cars, where don't take me out, coach, I can still race.
Yeah, I know the scene well.
And Dan Ashton there saying, no. There's, look, the drivers staying in their carts. Well, we will, not sure how long this, obviously the medical team are with Luca Magni, and there's Josh Smith. They're going to get that Project One car probably off the side of the circuit. He was in the process of being lapped. He was staying out of the way, but he was like, well, I'm going to try and score points. I'm going to try and stay out of the circuit. I haven't had the mechanical warning flag, so I don't have to come in, even though it's very uncomfortable and it's rattling all my fillings out, if he has any. I mean, he might be a good brusher. Who knows? I don't know. There's Aidan Hassan sitting in his cart. You've got
New chassis for him.
New chassis?
Yeah.
Well, he broke the new chassis.
He broke it, welded it,
yes.
So got it going, but they forked out for a new one, so he's got a new one.
Yeah. And a big thank you to Strawberry and to Paul Spencer for allowing us to have a behind-the-scenes look. But, of course, Strawberry aren't just the only team that have got global success in this championship. There are many, the likes of Fusion. We were talking yesterday. I was watching the racing yesterday with you, Anthony, and Luca Holmes-Ballot came up to me and said, so what's the best team then? And I said, well, it's very difficult to say what the best team are, but what I would say is that in the UK, you've got Fusion Motorsport, you've got Oliver Roller Motorsport, you've got Strawberry Racing, Dan Holland Racing, KR Sport, and Argenti. Now, there are lots of other teams as well, and I can almost see the people, saying, what about so-and-so, what about so-and-so? Those 6 teams, you give those 6 teams any kart, any engine, and you send them to any race, anywhere in the world, and they're in the front. So we have got some of the best teams. So there are room for privateers, and we've got some great features. Watch out on the social media channels coming up for a feature that we did with privateer driver Ellis Bell. So there's still room in this paddock for the lad and dad, the family teams running at the back of a little awning. We saw someone in the paddock show last night. Jacob Borowiak, running transit van, easy up awning, competing in this championship. But for families that have maybe got the budget to join a team or don't have the mechanical wherewithal to maintain the karts themselves, if like me, I'm a useless mechanic, I could never be a karting mechanic, then there are so many world-class teams to further your son's or daughter's career in this paddock, in the Wera Tools karting paddock, and that is just an insight into what makes these teams tick. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you may have realised the karts have been lined up, Anthony, in single file. Now, off camera, Luca Magni has been placed into an ambulance on a stretcher because he's hurt his leg, but communicating with the medical team, communicating with the officials, obviously, saying, it hurts.
Yes.
Just like that. So again, family, friends watching at home, Luca has, and I'm sure they'll be in touch with the Dan Holland team, but he is sort of talking and communicating, but he has he has hurt his leg. The field have been put back into single file. 8 minutes and 31 seconds left on the clock. What will happen now? Macaulay Bishop will lead the field. The order has been set at the end of the last fully completed race lap. You can see on the left-hand side of your screen at the top of the red race suit, that's Joshua Smith. He will not be taking the restart, I don't believe. He's got a bent rear axle. He's a lap down. He'll be guided into the pit lane.
Yes, well, you say, you don't believe he's there, he's seated in the cart and everything like that. Yes, he's been taken out the line. You think he'll just be
I think he'll come back into the pit, yes.
Right, okay.
I mean, or if he might be told, right, just get to the back then.
Yeah.
So you're not right in the middle of the traffic, for Formula One. No, Michael, no.
Yeah.
That was the race director impression. The lapped carts will go to the back of the field.
Yeah. Well, you can just see there Nigel Edwards, the race director for this weekend, just giving a brief description as they send the carts now away for their rolling restart. Macaulay Bishop will start again on the front of this grid with Ethan Jeff Hall alongside, and again that gives Ethan
single file.
Single file. Yeah, just behind him.
8.5 minutes.
8.5 minutes. it just gives Ethan Jeff Hall that extra chance to go for the race lead. That's what he's got. That's what he's got to go with right now, and I think just gives him that. Straight in.
Rubber ball coming bouncing back to me, bouncy, bouncy.
I had other songs in mind, but yeah.
Here we go. It is Bishop, Jeff Hall, Savinkov, Youngling, Usakov's the top 5. Behrman, Charman, Stevens, Josh Graham, Spearing, the top 10. Armand Hamilton, Josh Turnbull, Tommy Harfield, Aidan Hassan, Brandon Truby, the top 15. Kenzo Craigie, Leon Hasty, Jack Hobson, Lewis Goff, Thomas Ingram Hill, the top 20. Joe Rippin, Harrison Whittaker, Matthew Sayer, Luke Bates, Oliver Sander, Tyler Harris, Archie Clark, Deacon Russell, William Murphy, and Sky Parker. 30 drivers, 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Here we go. Take 2, Junior Rotax. We start all over again, and Bishop gets a great jump on Ethan Jeff Hall, but Jeff Hall will get in the slipstream now, and he's under pressure. The flying Ukrainian Alexander Savinkov looking for a first career podium and maybe a first career win in the British Championship.
Yes, indeed. Well, he's there in P3, and he's got a good opportunity now here to latch on to the back here. Now, Macaulay Bishop has already opened up a slight advantage there. He's got about 3 kart lengths between himself and Ethan Jeff Hall. 8.5 minutes was the restart time remaining. We're down to now less than 8 minutes of this race, plus that 1 extra lap as they make their way through Devil's Elbow. 1 kart going a little wide there and getting back onto the Aidan Hassan, I think, has had an issue, and he is getting swamped by the pack.
He was grass tracking. I think there was a Strawberry Racing kart running wide, and Aidan Hassan was sort of like on the grass and coming back on the circuit. He has only managed to drop 1 place, though. Well done, Aidan. No, that is Usakov's, I think, and Timo Youngling.
Yeah.
And, German-Latvian relations have taken a bit of a dive in the last 2 corners.
Black flag going out to Jack Hobson there, the number 14, who is out on track. I am not sure what that's for. He did get a warning flag earlier on. The race has only just restarted, and now he's been given a straight black flag. His race is over.
I wonder, this is pure speculation, I'm trying to think why the officials would do such a thing. Did they see Jack messing with his nose?
Is that another red flag? Another red flag. Red flag has come out again. What has happened? What
is going on here? So we haven't seen an incident at all. And there is, at the end of the main straight, there is a kart in the tyres. And again, it's the same position going up the hill. I'm not trying, again, I can't even see who that is. The timing screens are saying that Lewis Goff and Thomas Ingram Hill have been involved, and now we've got 7 minutes. It's the Sam Pollock Racing number 52 of Lewis Goff, who is the highest placed rookie in the field, and Thomas Ingram Hill for Dan Holland Racing. There's 2 karts have gone into the tyres, and I think Lewis Goff has tried climbing over the tyres while still in his go-kart, which probably isn't ideal, but I can say that we're not showing the incident, but I can say that officials are with both drivers. And so we've got 6 minutes 54 seconds, and Thomas Ingram has backed his kart into the tyres, and is sat in his kart chatting to Lee Manchester, and Lewis Goff is also sat in his kart, which is halfway up a tyre barrier, and chatting to one of the incident marshals.
Now, the problem that I think has been causing obviously we had the rain.
Yes, the grass
soaked to the grass. The track is dry, the speeds are greater.
And you're going, you get on the grass and you speed up when you hit the grass.
Yes.
So there's there's Macaulay Bishop and Ethan Jeff Hall. Caption competition, ladies and gentlemen. What's going through their mind? They're sat in their go-karts waiting. Now, we haven't reached 75% race distance yet, and it's still, it's still early. It's still early. It's not even 4 o'clock in the afternoon here in sunny North Wales. Dan Ashton having a look. I have to say, talk about Dan Ashton. Dan Ashton, and we'll talk about another championship as well, but it's worth saying. So, Darren Beavers, he runs the BKC, the other BKC. Darren, a lot of these drivers now have come through, they started their career in Bambino. Mm-hmm. And in the UK, if you race Bambinos, you will race in Darren Beavers Championship. And Darren does a tremendous amount of work when drivers and their families first get into the sport. And then, you know, they spread their wings, they fly around lots of different championships. Dan Ashton, our race director here, does a lot of work with Darren Beavers. And Dan Ashton used to race called MASCAR, which is a short oval circuit, a sort of formula, and Dan Ashton raced short ovals. Darren Beavers, for all the work that Dan had done, Darren gifted him a test drive in a Brisker F1 stock car. Stu Stretton from Mr. Kart and Martin was there, formerly of the Alpha Live Parish, who's done some work there, but Dan Ashton was beaming, and he just wanted me to say a huge thank you to Darren. Now, Kart Mechanic Bingo, anybody? There was a chance there. It's always a great chance when there's no racing on circuit. Why not make fun of some mechanics? There is a look at the thing now. What have we got there? We've gone, no, so that mechanic is Paul. Second, that's Jude Ferneyhouse mechanic there. Second on the right there, he's got the tight black. Great short game there by the mechanics. Look at all those mechanics there. Very tight shorts, all cut but above the knee. They've got their team kit on, but we'll have to cut that episode of Kart Mechanic Bingo short because we've got karts now coming back.
I think they're coming back to the pit lane, or they're going back to the start-finish line. The ambulance is still on circuit, so we're definitely not going for a restart.
Oh, okay, well, that's something.
Well, good to see that we've got Dries van Langendonk joining us, new driver with the Forza Racing team out in Europe.
Dries van Langendonk.
Langendonk, yeah.
Langendonk. Hello, Dries. Nice to meet you.
Yes.
Via internet. We're going to have a little bit of a delay here, ladies and gentlemen. The drivers are sat back on the grid, and there are 5 minutes plus 1 lap to go.
Yeah.
I think they've trimmed the time a little bit.
Yes, yeah, they did. They took 2 minutes off it, so I walked into timing to find out how long we got left, and I heard Nigel Edwards over the radio going, 5 minutes for this one plus 1 lap.
That's fair enough, 5 minutes plus 1 lap. Well, I mean, it's past, June 21st, so the day's getting shorter.
Yeah. True.
The days are getting shorter. So hello, ladies and gentlemen, once again, back with us here in the commentary box. I feel it's been a day.
It has. I feel like I've been shafted a little bit with the seating arrangement. You've got a lovely plush sofa. I'm on what can only be described as a metal chair.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will clear this up. This morning, I came in very generous. Said, Anthony, which side would you like to sit on? And he chose the chair.
I did. That's only because I feel like your poor back.
I am considerably older than you, yes.
Yeah.
Keep your comments coming in. Thank you for your comments. We really appreciate it. Yeah. The live chat is our opportunity to make you, watching wherever you're watching in the world, feel a part of the Wera Tours British Championship, whether it's mispronouncing your driver's name or making fun of the nans, the granddads, and the aunts and the uncles who are watching in. You all make this championship the most engaged, with the liveliest, the most fun to be a part of. This championship is, without a question of a doubt, the most professional series in national karting and one of the most professional run anywhere in the world, and yet we still want to make sure that you, the viewers, have some fun, the drivers have fun. This is all about having fun. Yes, it's a sport. Yes, it's the first step on the road to Formula One, but karting is a sport in its own right, and we want all these drivers, whether they're at the front or the back, to come away from a Wera Tours British Championship weekend having had fun. And if us two, being a pair of idiots, help with that, then
well, hold on, us two? You?
Ladies and gentlemen, the karting mum's crumpet and just some old past it Welsh idiot.
You are beloved, Henry. You're beloved.
Keep your coming in. Brandon Nagelvort, thank you very much, Brandon. I know that you had a really, really bad day. But Brandon Nagelvort saying, big cheer for a big man. And he's not just talking about my waist. He's talking about my stature in this world. But Anthony, you missed a trick there. I'm looking up at you. You're looking down upon me, like should be. Bod Cole, Glanagorse, the spa of karting. Yeah. Okay, interest. Right then. What are the circuits in karting? Spa-Francorchamps, by the way, world-renowned, having its own microclimate.
Yeah.
It can be raining one minute, sunny the next. Glanagorse, the spa of karting. Change my mind. Mr. Cole, I see your Glanagorse, and I give you Rowra.
I was thinking exactly the same. Rowra, you've got turn 1 up the hill. It's so rougey,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
it?
No, I think it's about the weather.
Oh,
yes,
right.
yes. There is kind of goes to spiral karting in terms of the weather. In terms, where's the hat, Henry? Safe.
said
It's
about
safe. Safe off camera. It's safe somewhere in the paddock, out of the way. Josh so I was saying, no, what happened with the red flags? Monty Brathwaite. Well, Monty, we had one red flag when Luca Magni went off and hurt his leg. He's in ambulance. I believe he's going to go to a local medical facility. And we had the second red flag for a collision between Lewis Goff and Thomas Ingram Hill. And Lewis Goff, I think, walked into an ambulance, but is in the ambulance nonetheless. We've got 5 minutes of junior round. Louis Westover. Oh, Louis, how are you? Saying Rowra is more like Spa. Bod call, go. Butmore Park, says Adam Sparrow. In terms of ups and downs, then Butmore Park, yes, a bit like Spa, but not really weather-wise. I think we're talking about which track is its own microclimate. You know, where it can be literally dry at one end. Clay Pigeon is always great. When you can see the mast at the end of the straight, then you know it's not raining or it's about to rain. When you can't see it, you know it is raining. Reg Haywood, Harrison Crowther sadly has retired. He retired before the red flags, on with Oliver Smith. Motorsport Magpie saying Clay Pigeon has its own microclimate.
Yes, it does. But I wouldn't say it was Sparish.
Josh Salway Racing. Can we get Dan? Bod Cole has clarified. Bod Cole has had this style of track. Okay, Bod. Style of track, up and down.
I'd still say Rowwood takes it.
Now, someone has seen there. Dan Ashton has been requested. There's Dan Ashton. Briscoe F1 stock car driver extraordinaire Dan Ashton in his red trainers. Race director for the Wera Tours British Kart Championship. Please, Dan Ashton, show us your moves.
Terrible.
And he doesn't.
Lifeless.
Maintain the veneer of professionalism.
He's certainly given us a good stance, though.
He's given a very good stance. That's a power stance if ever there was. Pigeon toes, and no, we're going to point and pretend that we're going to do something. There's Nigel Edwards. Again, we talked about the safety of the teams. We have got some of the most respected officials in world karting. Nigel Edwards, known around the world for his race directors. And yeah, it got me thinking, where else? I mean, obviously Landau trumps. I mean, the gradient change there is at least 2 feet. I go back to Idubi Raceway, and I'll take you to Bahrain International Kart Circuit.
2 centimetres is the height difference.
At Landau?
Yeah, it's flat.
Exactly, it's what it's like Spa. But in Wales.
Honestly, I can't stand you sometimes. I tolerate you.
Bahrain International Kart Circuit, there is a gradient change up and down all over the place. I'll go back to my... I know I keep plugging the Idubi Raceway, but you go onto Google. After this event, obviously, write it down now and then go to look for an onboard lap of the Idubi Raceway. It is terrifying and spectacular in equal measures.
I would say the steel ring in the Czech Republic matches that in terms of technicality, speed,
yes,
and undulation.
Oh, undulation! I like love an undulation. Okie dokie, here we go. There's a look at the contenders. We're going to have 5 minutes. The order for Junior Rotax Part 3. Macaulay Bishop, Ethan Jeff Hall, Alexander Savinkov. Then it is, looking at there's number 99. That's Harrison Whitcomb in 20th position. 19th will be 18th is Josh Turnbull in the number 83 kart. The next kart you should be seeing is the MLC Motorsport number 54 of Joe Rippin. Jack Hobson has had a black flag. I was going to say possibly a nose code infringement. So it's going to be Aidan Hassan into the top 15 now. There's the Mark Baines Motorsport livery on the kart. Leon Hasty, the S plate, in 14th place for Thule Motorsport. And now we look out. Oh, Christian Engelstad, check out an onboard lap of versions in Denmark. A 90-degree left-hander taking an almost flat chap with a drop of about a metre. I shall do that, Christian, because that'll be good. Now, we'll look further up there. There is Kenzo Craigie, up into 12th place now from 34th of the grid. The 46 is Hungary's Armand Hamilton, also from Australia. The 78 Kart, 10th, Thomas Min Spearing. 9th is the 88 of Joshua Graham for Argenti Motorsport. Then it is the 81 of Ollie Stevens running in 8th position. Harris Ewan Charman, the Charmander, will take the restart in 7th. Thomas Behrman, the 87, will start 6th. Gustav Usakovs will start 5th. For Strawberry Racing, Timo Jungling will start P4 for Dan Holland Racing. And now the top 3 for the restart, hopefully the final restart of the day. Caleb Lewid Roberts, there are this race and one more to go. 1.5 races left. There is Ukraine's Alexander Savinkov in kart number 16. He take the restart P3. P2 will be the Strawberry Racing number 5 of Ethan Jeff Hall, the reigning European Junior Rotax champion, and the 2020 Motorsport UK Wera Tours Cadet Ayami British champion, Macaulay Bishop, the British Open champion at the moment in Junior Rotax, will start from first.
Could this go down in karting history as the longest Junior Rotax final?
It very well could. I mean, we are used to having 1 red flag, but 2 red flags in a final, and still they haven't called it early. That could be a record. Unlike Formula 1, so in Formula 1 you've got 2.5 hours.
2.5.
2.5 hours from the start when they start the race. It's 2 hours or 2.5 hours from when they call the start of the race to when the race can finish. They don't have that rule in karting.
No.
We could still be. I mean,
it was the Canadian Grand Prix that caused that rule to come into effect, wasn't it? Because
the 8-hour Canadian Grand Prix that Jensen Button won.
Yes, yeah.
He won it on Monday morning after starting it Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Yes, 2010, 2011.
I think it was 2010. No. I think it was 11.
Vettel spun on the last lap.
Vettel went wet, changing like the conditions we have today. It's Canadian Grand Prix. We're at the Canadian Grand Prix.
We're at the Canadian Grand Prix. Look at that. Yeah, all we need is a groundhog. There's a groundhog, and we've got Canadians here. Lucas Pinot, and Ryan Gandor. We are in Montreal.
Will a sheep do?
Paint a sheep brown, and it's a groundhog.
Right. Okay.
I'm sold.
Rain on the way.
Sold, ladies and gentlemen.
On the
Welcome
way.
to Montreal. Bienvenue, mon ami. There we go. Montreal, Quebec. Welcome to the overseas round of the Wera overseas from Wales.
We are in a foreign country.
Soon, we're going racing soon. Thank you very much for staying with us. There should be a poll. Versions in Denmark, Bahrain, Idube, Glanagorse,
Steel Ring.
Those 5 tracks.
Yeah.
Those 5 tracks. Okay. Brandon Nagel says brown sheep coming from the country road outside. Well, they want to watch the Senior Rotax final. Brandon saying his fan club are on the way, but he didn't make it out the repechage, so he's not going to be in the final. But unfortunately there, but again, really commiserations to Brandon. Brandon's dad had a Joe Siffert, John Wyer Racing, Porsche 917, Tag Heuer Joe Siffert polo shirt on in the paddock. That shirt alone should have earned Brandon a top 5 finish. Yes. Sadly, it didn't. But it should have.
Well, still no word on when these guys are going to be going. And there is your race director Nigel Edwards at the front. Okay, I think we're briefing. 1 lap.
One rolling lap.
5 minutes plus that 1 lap.
Do you know what we haven't done already today?
Go on.
Haven't had a sing-song. And do you know why I say that?
No,
because that's Dan Amore has just come on the live chat. I'm going to speak to this driver outside now. So, Macaulay Bishop leads them around. And he will... This is a bit boring. Excite. Come on. I don't know what to say.
They're getting going now.
Right, here we go. Now the excitement comes back in, Mr. Excitement. He has got a sheep as his avatar, which means he's probably local. Maybe he was one of the guests in the field. Maybe he was one of the brown sheep on his way into the circuit, realised Brandon Klein-Nagelvort's not racing and thinks it's boring.
I think I can see him at the commentary box window. He's in the next 2 fields across.
Yeah, yes. Got you. Right then, here we go. Anyone know where Ethan got his custom visor on? He got it from Fiber King. Man like James Bean has provided the Fiber King visor kits. Very smart they are too. So, take 3 for Junior Rotax. Bishop, Jeff Hall, Savinkov, DHR, Strawberry, Argenti. Which one of the giants will stand tall in Glanigorse? Here we go.
Let's find out then. Round the final corner, green flag goes out. It's a good getaway from the top 2. Ethan Jeff Hall not caught sleeping this time. Pulls away with Macaulay Bishop as they now make their way back up the hill. Defensive instantly goes Savinkov as he tries to defend from Youngling. Gustav Usakov's now down the inside of Youngling. They had contact earlier on in the race. This time around, they both get through the corner cleanly and back down the hill they go. The top 2 have broken away. Rippin's in the barrier. He's out of this race. Disaster for him on the restart.
Indeed it was. You started last. Oh no, Aiden Hassan out of the race as well. Oh, disaster for the leading privateer in the field. And that is unfortunate for Aiden. We didn't see what happened or whether it was involved in an accident with Rippin. I couldn't see where they were. I thought that Rippin was a couple of cars behind Aiden Hassan. Yellow flags waving up at Spoon Curve. And you could see Aiden Hassan in the marshal post there, obviously, extremely upset with the turn of events. Now, Bishop leads Ethan Jeff Hall right in his wheel track, and they have gapped the field. These 2 drivers have been the class of the field all weekend, even where it has been so close. These 2 have had the edge, and they're proving it. Why?
Joshua Turnbull now receives a 5-second in-race penalty then at the end of only just 1 lap on the restart.
Harrison
here.
Whittaker has just gained another place, put the Welshman into the top 15. He's gained 19 places, only 1 less than his teammate Kenzo Craigie, who has gone from 32nd on the grid to 12th.
Yep, solid drives from the 2 Argenti drivers. 4 minutes or 3 minutes left plus 1 lap to go. And again, Savinkov going defensive here. And Gustav Usakov's all over the back of him here.
This is where Savinkov, the slight lack of experience compared to the others, it's easy for these drivers to switch on and switch off and to be back on it. Savinkov, it's just taken him another lap to get up to speed, and it's sort of costing him a little bit because he is now the cork in the bottle. Usakov's Youngling, Thomas Behrman's having the race, the weekend of his career so far, top 6 for KR Sport. Then it's Charman, Stevens and Spearing. Ollie Stevens again with Jess Matthews, and there is the move. Savinkov now getting escorted to the outside of the circuit.
Yeah, so Usakov takes that move. Moves up into P3 now, and that crucially, look at the other 2. I've got to say, Ethan Jeff Hall is right on the rear bumper of Bishop here for the race
What's the bottom of the hill? The bottom of the hill. Bishop and Ethan Jeff Hall have been trading moves going into the last corner. This is, let's have a little look. Oh, Bishop knows. Bishop gets defensive. They have been really attacking each other. They both pulled off a move on the other going into that turn to win a race. Ethan Jeff Hall did it earlier on. Bishop did it earlier on. Ethan Jeff Hall did it later. The Strawberry Racing Kart is there. He's there. Bishop has won the opening 2 rounds of the Junior X30 British Championship. He's won the opening round of the Junior Rotax British Championship. This could be 4 in a row for Macaulay Bishop. Ethan Jeff Hall would like to take that record away when he's giving Bishop all he can handle and a little bit more.
He's certainly showing that he's right there, isn't he? Just kissing that rear bumper of Bishop. And Bishop keeps checking over the shoulder while going into corners. You don't want to do that. You want to focus on where you're going. Yes, you can look over your shoulder when you're on a straight, not when you're about to take an apex.
Doesn't that give you a little bit of insight into the skill levels of Bishop? Because he hasn't lost ground, but what Ethan Jeff Hall is Bishop knows Ethan Jeff Hall can pull off passes here at places where you don't normally pass. So Bishop is being very cautious. Now Ethan Jeff Hall sets him up for a run in the carousel. 1 minute to go. You've had to wait a very long time for it, but now we're into the closing moments.
We're into the closing moments, and look how quickly Gustav Usakovs is closing up behind them. The battle for 3rd place is going to get heated up very soon because Bishop keeps parking it in the middle of the track through all the corners. He is defending timing it perfectly. He's not going full defensive, but he's just stopping Ethan Jeff Hall getting that nose cone alongside. Again, checking over the shoulder constantly, hugging that white line all the way up. Oh, Jeff Hall goes to the outside. You've got to watch out for that slipstream. You've got to watch out for the switchback as well for these drivers as he tries to tuck it back in.
Here we
he just hasn't got the momentum. Now he's got alongside, switches back to the outside. He's going to be careful. If he gets one of those slick tyres on the grass, it's game over.
And they both know that, and that is a testament to their skill. They have both seen 2 red flag accidents happen at the outside of the Dragon curve, and there's more karts going off there. There's 2 drivers, and Ethan Jeff Hall still went to the outside there, teetering on the edge of adhesion and potentially disaster. That was the 46 kart of, that was Armand Hamilton and Alexander Savinkov in trouble. Here we go, final lap. It's Jeff Hall versus Bishop for the win.
Here we go then, up through Spoon Curve, back down the hill. This is where we saw Ethan Jeff Hall try to go for the move earlier on in the race. But remember, the moves that we've seen from these drivers have been into the final section of the lap.
Watch this next corner, here, no, Bishop covers. Now where is Ethan Jeff Hall? He's got 2 opportunities. He can make one coming out of this next corner. Will he dive up the inside?
Yes, he will! Oh, no! Oh, the 2 make contact! Bishop's off the track. Ethan Jeff Hall keeps going, but Gustav Usakovs could take the win here. And he does!
Usakovs, the Red Seas part, Usakovs picks up win number 2 of his career, his first win in the British Championship for Strawberry Racing. The championship leader on the last lap. Well, let's have a look. I can see Macaulay Bishop's championship lead shrinking, and he manages to hold on to a 7-point championship lead as it stands, but it's Usakovs and Timo Jungling back on the podium for the first time in the British Championship since his Cadet Honda Championship win back in 2020, and Ethan Jeff Hall crossed the line in 3rd position. The gap, while there was half a gap there, Ethan Jeff Hall had to go for something. The gap was closing. It's such a shame that it ends like that after those 2 drivers have raced magnificently all weekend. And Macaulay Bishop walking away, you can see on the left-hand side of your screen. So your provisional results in one of the longest but drama-filled Junior Rotax races. And it is Gustav Usakovs, Timo Jungling, Ethan Jeff Hall. Ewan Charman finishes 4th for Argenti. Then Ollie Stevens, great result for Ollie in the top 5 for the Dan Holland Racing team. Joshua Graham comes home in 6th. Thomas Min Spearing, 7th. Thomas Behrman finished 8th. And what a drive from Tyler Harris to finish, started 33rd, finished 9th. My good friend Roger Young from Chinese Taipei and the island of Taiwan tuning in. A co-commentator of mine at the Rotax Grand Finals. And Tommy Harfield finishes 10th. Then it's Leon Hasty. Alexander Savinkov salvages 12th, but it could have been so much more. Harrison Whitacombe, 21 places gained from 34th to 13th. And Kenzo Craigie, Mercedes young driver, program star, finishes 14th from 32nd on the grid. Oliver Sander comes home 15th, followed by Joe Rippin, Luke Bate, Brandon Truman, Matthew Sayer, Archie Clark, Deacon Russell, William Murphy, and in 23rd position, only 23 finishers from the 34 starters. Wales's Sky Parker, the North Wales-based young lady, finishes 23rd. Sadly, Macaulay Bishop failed to finish. Hopefully he's okay. He's hurt his hand a little bit. Josh Turnbull, Armand Hamilton down the order in 26th. Aidan Hassan also failed to finish. Jack Hobson, Lewis Goff, Thomas Ingram Hill, Joshua Smith, Luca Monyi, Harrison Crowther and Oliver Smith failed to finish. We do hope that Lewis Goff and Luca Monyi are okay. We will try and update you on the various social media channels as after this event. But there we go, yes. A big hello to everyone. So, I've got to say that Anthony Jordan's going to have his hands full down in the paddock with some very emotional but some very happy drivers. Anthony Jordan, take it away.
Thank you very much, Henry. Yes, probably one of the longest Junior Rotax finals we've seen in quite a long time, and then one of the shortest races we've seen. Sprint race, 5 minutes. Gustav, you come away with the race win on that one. Now, what was going through your mind when you saw you were catching the front two at the end? You were looking very quick, and then the collision happened. What was going through your mind when you saw them go off?
I mean, through the whole race, I just wasn't quite quick enough to stay with them. So when they crashed, I was actually really surprised. I didn't expect that.
Yeah. I mean, a very long race, several stoppages in that one, 2 stoppages. What's going through your mind when you're just sitting on that grid waiting to see what's going to happen? Are we going to get a restart? Are we stopping? You know, what was going through your mind there?
We weren't in the best position there because we had just been overtaken by like 3 people or 2. So it was kind of stressful because I needed to overtake them all back. But yeah, it was quite nerve-wracking just standing there for ages. So.
Well, you come away with another final win. This is your second, I believe, now final win. So you're adding the tallies up, so you're getting there. But, mate, congratulations. We'll see you on the podium a bit later on.
Thank you.
Excellent. Gustav Uskos there, finishing in first place. Let's chat to second place, which would be Timo Youngling. Timo, come on over. And, well, Timo, the last time I think I spoke to you at the end of a race, there's a lovely bee there who's going to come and say hello to us, was probably Honda Cadet, and you're about that tall. Now you're this tall. You're nearly my height in juniors. What was that humming? What can you tell us about that race?
Oh, it was an interesting race. We have 2 red flags. So at the start, I dropped back to 5th at the start, then I went back to 4th. Then a red flag happened when we were catching down the leaders. Then the restart, I kind of got hit off, but luckily there was another red flag, so I got back to 4th position. And then on this next restart, the 2 leaders got a bit of a gap, and I overtook Zingrajevic for 3rd, and then Gustav then got me the next lap. And then I was kind of catching him a tiny bit. And on the last lap, there was a massive incident between the 2 leaders. 1 DNF'd, that was Jeff Macaulay, and I overtook them both. So I got 2nd, which is a good result for me.
Yeah, solid result. You come away with a P2 on that one. Best result of the year so far, and yeah, best result in juniors.
Yeah, that was my best result in juniors.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. Well done. We'll see you on the podium a bit later on.
Yeah, thank you.
Excellent there, Timo Youngling. Let's chat to Ethan Jeff Hall if we can. Ethan, I'll come to him because at the moment he's coming away. Dan, well, we won't like this. Ethan, we'll have a quick chat. We're not at the branding. Well, mate, you had to go for the move. You know, it was the last lap. You went for the gap there. What was going through your mind when you went for the move?
I just went down the inside as late. Well, not as late, but it was just a clean move down the inside, and then he turned in. We rubbed wheels, and then I bounced over the top. So, yeah, it's wasn't really my fault. Just went for the move.
Yeah, and I mean, you still come away with a P3 of that one. Do you feel? Do you think you are going to get to hold on to that P3?
I'm not sure. I think it was 4th on the road, but we'll see.
Well, we'll see. The results have disappeared off my screen, but it did say 3rd on my screen when you crossed the line. But, mate, well done. Tough race on that one. Yeah, hope we'll see if we see you on the podium.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. Well, next race is on.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to the podium for the Junior Rotax final here in event 4 of the 2023 Wera Tools British Kart Championship. The results on track weren't quite the final results. There were several incidents. Ethan Jeff Hall and Gustav Usakovs getting penalties. So the final podium, finishing in 3rd position. It's his first podium in some time here in the British Championship. Representing Dan Holland Racing, it's Ollie Stevens. On to 2nd place now, and this driver has had more wins than any other driver in Honda Cadet, but now stepping on the Junior Rotax podium, representing Argenti Motorsport, it's Ewan Charman. But your winner today is his first Wera Tools British Championship podium since he won the 2021 Honda Cadet Championship. Representing Dan Holland Racing along with his winning mechanic, Jamie Zyra, it's Timo Youngling. It's the first time that Jamie's been on a podium since 2019 Rotax 177? Something like that, Wera. But ladies and gentlemen, congratulations, your Junior Rotax podium. Stay there.
Stay there, we need to get some photos. If you want to get photos, you can come in close.
Yeah,
these
are going to be the official photos, so we'll do like Chris Walker, so we'll do...
You need like, you need number one, you need like...